stuff on screen now. Same process as last time. If you have a question, just raise the hand emoji or drop me a message and we'll get that sorted for you. So we're just letting Glowacki in the room now.
Oh.
So here we go, it's just connecting to audio. Just give it one moment just to see if we can get the audio issue sorted. There we go. So he's now connected. So I can see Joe Lee from Seconds Out. If you'd like to ask your question first, please.
Hi, mate. First question for me. Obviously, the fight's been postponed once now. I just want to know how you think the second fight's going to go and if you feel like you're more prepared now, because obviously you've had a while out and you've been out for over a year now, but do you feel like you're more prepared now than you would have been if it happened in December?
Dobrze, teraz witam Panie Głowacki.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry, ja jestem Michał Kowalski, będę tłumaczył. Także pytanie jest takie, że oczywiście ta walka została odroczona. Jak się teraz czujesz z tym, czy jesteś lepiej przygotowany? Jak myślisz, że ta druga walka pójdzie? Jakbyś mógł coś powiedzieć?
Czuję się bardzo dobrze, jestem całkowicie zdrowy, przygotowania poszły po myśli całkowicie, także...
I feel very well. I'm totally fit and healthy. The preparation went very well. Proszę.
I przyjechaliśmy tutaj zdobyć pas, zabrać go z powrotem do Polski.
So we came here to get the belt back to Poland.
Brilliant. Now, I'm sure it goes without saying, but I presume if you were to win this fight, you'd like the rematch with Maris Briedis after a controversial ending.
Także ja to mówię bez wątpliwości, że chciałbyś, żeby koniec walki był bez kontrowersji.
No jak najbardziej, no jesteśmy sportowcami, mam nadzieję, że będzie fair walka w typu sportowym.
By all means, we are sportsmen and I hope that the fight will be fair play.
Thank you. Good luck.
Dziękuję, powodzenia.
Dzięki.
Okay, thank you for your questions, Joe. Next on, if we go to Ames from Boxing News TV, please.
Pleasure to meet you, Krzysztof. How are you doing?
Także witam, Krzysztofie, jak się masz?
Super, bardzo dobrze się czuję, także wszystko jest elegancko, nie mogę się doczekać walki.
Super, I feel very well, everything is perfect and I can't wait to the fight.
I've seen online that you've been training with your friend Artur Szpilka. He's been over here in Britain before. Has he given you any advice about coming over here?
Widziałem na internecie, że walczyłeś z Arturem, trenowałeś z nim. On tutaj był już wcześniej. Czy on tobie dał jakieś porady na temat walki?
Z Arturem znamy się bardzo długo, jesteśmy przyjaciółmi, nawet koło siebie mieszkamy, także trenujemy cały czas razem i cały czas się wspieramy.
We have known Artur for a long time. We've been friends and we've lived together and we train together and we support each other.
Lawrence Okolie, your opponent, is very, very known for his sort of style in the ring, for kind of clinching his opponents. And so far, no fight has been able to kind of stop him from doing that and beat him. Are you prepared for a fight which could be ugly for the viewers to watch? And how will you counter that style?
Także Lawrence Okolie, on jest znany z tego, że bardzo często klinczuje w walkach, czyli nie obyło się bez walki, gdzie on by nie klinczował. Jak się z tym będziesz czuł? Czy masz jakąś strategię, żeby z tego wyjść?
No jasne, jestem gotowy na wszystko, także spokojnie. Wiadomo, mówić można dużo, trzeba po prostu wyjść i zrobić swoje w ringu w sobotę.
I'm ready for everything. Obviously, you know, I can say a lot, I can talk a lot, but I have to go into the ring on Saturday and show it.
You gave an interview to a Polish outlet and you said about Lawrence that he hasn't been in difficult times. He doesn't have the mentality and the mentality will be key, and he hasn't had the experiences of that you have had. What do you see in Lawrence that you think you can exploit?
Ty tu udzieliłeś wywiadu jakimś polskim mediom i tam powiedziałeś, że Lawrence nie był jeszcze w kłopotach mentalnych, a ty byłeś, czyli ty masz więcej doświadczenia. Jak myślisz, że to zadziała?
No to jest na pewno plus dla mnie, tak? Bo ja byłem na mistrzowskim poziomie już kilkukrotnie, walczyłem z bardzo ciężkimi przeciwnikami. Lawrence nie, no, także zobaczymy, jak to będzie miało wpływ.
That's definitely my advantage because I've been on the highest master level and I fought with the best fighters, and well, we'll see how it goes.
And finally, for you, Krzysztof, there have been some decisions recently which have been a little bit dubious on this side of the pond. Are you worried at all about the judges' scorecards should the fight go the full distance?
Także tutaj ostatnio były takie troszkę dziwne decyzje dotyczące karty z wynikami, sędziowskiej karty. Czy sądzisz, że ta walka dojdzie do końca, czy nie?
Nie wiem, nastawiam się na pewno na bardzo ciężką walkę, na bardzo ciężki bój i oczywiście na zwycięski, także czy to będzie na punkty, czy to będzie KO, nie wiem, ale wiem, że wygram.
It's gonna be a very tough fight, and whether it's gonna be knockout or the point, well, I hope to win.
All the best, Krzysztof.
Wszystkiego najlepszego, Krzysztofie.
Dzięki.
Thanks, Ames. If you go to Ron Lewis next, please, for boxing scene. You're on mute, Ron.
Sorry about that. The Okolie camp are probably thinking that, Krzysztof, you're a bit past your best. How are you feeling? I mean, it's 6 years since you won the title. Do you feel as good as you did when you beat Hook all those years ago, or do you think this is your last chance to get a title?
Drużyna Okoliego mówi, że ty już jesteś jakby przedawniony, prawda? No bo ostatnią walkę mistrzowską miałeś z Hookiem 6 lat temu. Jak myślisz? Czy jesteś
Przedawniony, to ja im pokażę w sobotę, że jednak się mylą.
Well, past date, I will show them on Saturday that they are mistaken.
Do you obviously the fight was meant to be in December and you were ill. Did you have any long-lasting effects of that? And did the delay do you good or not so good?
Walka miała się odbyć w grudniu, ale zachorowałeś. Czy masz jakieś długoterminowe efekty tej choroby i czy czujesz się dobrze?
Już czuję się naprawdę bardzo dobrze, także nie ma żadnych skutków ubocznych ta choroba, także jest wszystko bardzo dobrze.
I feel very well. The illness didn't have any side effects, long-lasting side effects. I feel good.
Okay, and has it worked out well being out to train for another 2 months, another 3 months for Lawrence? Has it suited you?
Yes.
Oh, it did. All right. Okay. And
No, you didn't finish there.
No. I thought that you're gonna ask a further question. So let me translate. Czyli teraz trenowałeś 2-3 miesiące do walki z Lawrencem?
Od stycznia już normalnie trenowałem, także no 2,5 miesiąca.
I started training in January, so 2.5 months of training.
And one last one from me. Obviously, the manner of your defeat to Briedis was pretty disgusting to most people who saw it. How long did it take to get that sort of anger of how you were treated out of your system?
Także tamta przegrana z tym poprzednim zawodnikiem była dosyć okropna. Jak sobie dałeś radę z gniewem?
Oczywiście bardzo ciężko, tak? Bardzo długo to w mojej głowie siedziała ta przegrana, dalej siedzi, że tak powiem, no ale teraz jest nowa szansa, walka o pas, to jest dla mnie najważniejsze, także teraz się skupiam całkowicie na Okoli.
It was very tough for me. Obviously, this defeat stayed in my head for a long time, and it's still there in the back of my mind. But I'm focused on getting the title back and on the fight with Okolie.
Excellent. Thank you. Good luck Saturday.
Dziękuję. Powodzenia.
Thanks, Ron. If we go to Fuad from Viper Sport next, please.
Hi, just a couple of questions from me. First and foremost, I want to know what your training camp was looking like, as much as you can give us in terms of, we know Lawrence's style is very unique, so I want to know how you prepared for that style.
Także chciałem się dowiedzieć, jak wygląda twój trening, prawda? My wiemy, że styl Lawrence'a jest bardzo unikalny. Jak wygląda twój?
No pewnie ciężko było dobrać sparring partnerów przede wszystkim pod styl Okolego, bo jest naprawdę nietypowy. No ale też ciężko jest dobrać takich sparring partnerów pod mój styl, także no, ale dawaliśmy radę.
It was hard to get appropriate sparring partners, obviously like Okolie because he's unique, but we managed.
And finally, I don't want to take your attention away from the fight, but more for the mainstream boxing fans. I know that you faced off with Usyk. He's obviously moved up to the heavyweight division. What's your thoughts on him in the heavyweight division? Do you think he can become a world champion there?
Ja nie chcę, żebyś tracił uwagę z tej walki, ale miałeś walkę z tym Kuszekiem. I co myślisz o wejściu na wagę ciężką?
Że ja do ciężkiej wagi?
Heavyweight?
Nie, ja jestem za mały, za lekki do ciężkiej wagi, nawet się nie nadaje do tej Bridget-weight nowej wagi.
I'm too small and I'm too light for the heavyweight. I'm not even good for the Bridget.
Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Dziękuję za to.
Thanks, Fuad. If we go to Jonathan Nagyoff next, please.
Hey, Krzysztof. Obviously, the bookies, the odds have Lawrence as a heavy favourite. I'm sure you don't agree with that, but what do you think of it?
Oczywiście obstawiają na Lawrence'a jako, że on jest faworytem. Co o tym sądzisz?
To bardzo dobrze, bo to bardzo wielka motywacja jest dla mnie. Ja wolę, jak ludzie obstawiają moich przeciwników, wtedy ja staram się udowodnić, że się jednak mylili.
That's very good for me because it gives me bigger motivation, and I prefer when they bet on my opponent because I'm more motivated.
You fought some of the best guys, best cruiserweights of this era. What do you think of Lawrence Okolie as an opponent?
Ty walczyłeś z najlepszymi w tej wadze cruiserweight i co myślisz o Okolim jako o przeciwniku?
No to będę mógł powiedzieć po walce, prawda, na jakim poziomie jest Lawrence Okolie, ale nastawiam się na bardzo ciężki bój, na najcięższy pojedynek w karierze.
I'll be able to talk about it after the fight with Okolie, but I prepare for the heaviest fight in my career.
Just finally, can you give us a rough breakdown on how you expect the fight to play out?
Czy możesz nam na koniec powiedzieć, w jaki sposób ta walka się odbędzie?
No, planu taktycznego nie zdradzę, także zobaczycie ich w sobotę.
I will not disclose my secret. You will see it on Saturday.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
Dziękuję.
Dzięki.
Thank you.
Okay, we go to fight news next, please, President.
Cześć, Krzysiu.
Cześć, Przemku. Nie widzę cię. O, teraz jesteś.
Nie musimy tłumaczyć. Dziękujemy panu serdecznie. Krzysienku, przede wszystkim dla mnie to wszystko, co w tej chwili się dzieje, mi strasznie przypomina walkę z Newarku z Marco Hookiem, gdzie już byłeś na straty. Tamten już szedł do ciężkiej, już były miliony zarabiane, a Krzysiek Głowacki był taki, to takie nazwisko w dorobku Hooka. Nie masz takiego samego wrażenia, że tu już wszyscy myślą, że wszystko jest przesądzone?
No takie wrażenie jest, także historia lubi się powtarzać, także zwycięstwo będzie jedno.
Na pewno, bo jedno z pytań...
Trener mówi, że wtedy tak nie gadałem. Nie umiałem. Masz pozdrowienia, Przemko, trenera.
Pozdrawiam trenera. Słuchaj, Główka, takie jedno zdanie było nie do końca dobrze chyba zrozumiane, bo jeden z dziennikarzy zadał tobie przed chwilą pytanie, czy nie obawiasz się tego czasami bardzo lewego punktowania na wyspach? Czy przystępując do walki nie masz jakiejś takiej ekstra presji, nie wiem, czy od trenera, czy od teamu, że słuchaj, musisz go nie tylko z nim wygrać, ale go zniszczyć. Czy masz to gdzieś tam w podświadomości, czy to nie jest ważne?
No tak, mam to cały czas pod świadomości, także ciężko będzie wygrać na punkty. Przy wyrównanej walce to nawet nie ma opcji wygrać, także trzeba go po prostu wyjść i zniszczyć.
Jeszcze ostatnie pytanie, bo nie chcę trzymać kolegów. Miło Cię zobaczyć, Krzysienku. Mam
Dzięki
nadzieję,
wzajemnie,
że
Przemku.
po tej stronie będziesz bronił pasa, natomiast ostatnie pytanie. Ze wszystkiego, co słyszałem, energia, siła, przygotowania, sparingi, świetnie się absolutnie czujesz. Czy mógłbyś porównać ten moment, kilka dni przed walką, do kilku swoich momentów przed tymi najważniejszymi pojedynkami?
Myślę, że tak, że porównam do każdej walki, także, ale teraz jeszcze bardziej jestem taki głodny wyjścia do ringu w końcu, bo jednak była bardzo długa przerwa.
Czy traktujesz, że to jest pojedynek być albo nie być dla Krzyśka Głowackiego? Wygrać tą walkę?
No myślę, że w walce mistrzowską to tak, być albo nie być.
Dziękuję bardzo. Powodzenia dla
Dzięki,
wszystkich.
trzymaj się, Przemku, pozdrawiam.
Thank you, guys.
Is there any more questions for Krzysztof before we go? So Fred from Boxing News, do you want to jump in? Boxing Social, sorry.
All right, so Glowacki, this will be more than a year and a half out of the ring for you. You last fought Bradis in July for the WBO strap, and you're challenging for the WBO strap again. Will ring rust be an issue for you at all?
Czyli to jest 1,5 roku po walce, prawda? Czyli po walce w lipcu, teraz będziesz walczył o tytuł WBO. Could you repeat the last bit because I couldn't understand you?
Will ring rust be an issue at all?
Okej. Czy to, że jesteś lekko zardzewiały na ringu, będzie dla Ciebie problemem, czy nie?
To zobaczymy już w najbliższą sobotę, także na sparingach było wszystko dobrze, nie czułem się zardzewiały, więc zobaczymy, jak będzie na walce.
We'll see that on the nearest Saturday. During the sparrings, I didn't feel rusty, and we'll see during the fight.
All right. So you've also been in the ring in the likes of Usyk, Marco Huck, Bradis, Steve Cunningham. Where would you rank Lawrence out of all these fighters?
Także on teraz wymienił tych bokserów, z którymi już walczyłeś. Gdzie byś umieścił, prawda, Lawrence'a wśród tych bokserów, który wymienił?
Ciężko mi powiedzieć przed walką, tak? On jest młody, niedoświadczony jeszcze zawodnik. Gdzieś tam nie walczył na tym najwyższym szczeblu. Także ciężko mi powiedzieć, ale każdego uważam, że to będzie najcięższa walka i że to jest najlepszy przeciwnik. Także teraz też tak podchodzę.
It's hard to say before the fight. He's young, he's inexperienced, he hasn't fought with the major fighters, but I feel it's gonna be the toughest fight. We'll see.
All right, that's my questions done. Thank you.
To moje pytania. Dziękuję.
Dzięki.
Thanks, Fred. I'll just give it one moment to see if we have any final questions come through before we let Krzysztof get off.
Zobaczymy, czy mamy jeszcze jakieś pytanie, Krzysiek?
Tak?
Okay, I think that's it. So thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you in the bubble later this week.
Myślę, że to wszystko, także dziękuję za twój czas.
Dziękuję bardzo.
W naszym bąblu w tym tygodniu.
Trzymajcie się.
Thank you.
See you.
Thanks for your help, Michael. Really appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Jak to wyjść z tego?
Okay, so next up at 4 o'clock, we have Joe Cordina joining us. Might try and get him in a little bit earlier, actually, if he's available. So just sit tight for a moment and we'll get Joe in. Okay, so we've got Joe Cordina joining now. So anybody who wants to ask a question, if you just pop your cameras on and we'll get started. Hi, Joe. Thanks for joining us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we've got you loud and clear. Thanks, mate.
I can't see you.
I don't have my camera on, but you'll be able to see the guys when they're asking their questions, okay?
Yeah, sweet.
Oh, man, okay. So if we start with John, do you want to kick things off, mate?
Thanks, Dan. Hi, Joe. How you doing, mate?
Hi, John. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, buddy. What do you know about your opponent? Is he a step up in class, do you think? He's got 17 wins and just the 2 defeats?
To know about him, as to watch him and whatever else, like there's not much on him. But I know he's been in with some good opposition. He's only lost to the 2 European champions. But yeah, there's not much to see on him, and whatever there is to see on YouTube is back 2-3 years ago. So I can't take much from that. But at the same time, I prepare for everyone the same way. I prepare for him if it's a world title fight. So for me, it's not going to be no difference to any other fight, regardless of whether he's pretty much unknown or whether he was a superstar world champion. I always prepare the same way, and that's bullet a gate and 100%, and make sure every stone is unturned.
Fair play. Well, look, I'm sure you won't overlook him, but should you come through at the weekend, and I'm sure you think you will, where do you think you might go next in the next step up? I mean, looking at the competitors at British level, in terms of Martin J. Ward, you're probably never going to fight him out the same gym, you probably pals. But what about someone like Anthony Kakachi?
Yeah, there's loads of people out there. Obviously, my goal is to win a world title, and my plan is to get closer to a world title, and that's where we're heading at the minute. So yeah, there's a million and one fighters out there. If it makes sense and if it makes money, obviously, the first and foremost, we gotta pick the right fights to get me close to a world title. And then secondly, it's got to make sense money wise, because obviously I got a family to keep as well. So yeah, if it makes sense money wise, then we'll go for whoever makes the most sense.
Excellent stuff. Thanks, Joe. Good luck at the weekend, mate.
Cheers, John. Thank you.
Thanks, John. If we go to Jonathan Nagiel next, please.
Hi, Joe. John here, Pro Boxing Fans. How are you keeping?
Yeah, not too bad, pal.
Good. What's this period sort of been like out the ring for sort of the best part of more than a year? Has it given you a chance to work on new things with Tony?
Yeah, at the start it was a bit. We won. How can I say we won working together, because I was back in Cardiff. Obviously, we didn't know how long COVID was going to go on for, or how long the spell was where no one's going to be in the gyms or whatever. So yeah, I was home doing my own thing. He was training me through like a Zoom call and FaceTime and stuff like that. So we were working on certain things, and I was keeping active. Yeah, it's been a bit, I wouldn't say difficult, but not being able to spar and not being around my other gym mates and pushing each other on and whatever else, that was quite difficult, because that's what I'm used to. But nevertheless, I'm always trying to improve, always asking questions of what I need to improve on, and me and Tony always liaise back and forth. And when I was at home, but now obviously the last 9 to 12 weeks I've been up here grafting hard. So and we've been working on a load of things. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting back out and picking up where I left off.
Have you set some sort of plan now as to what you want to do exactly this year? I saw you made some comments saying that hopefully by the end of the year you might get some sort of world title shot. Is that sort of the overall plan?
Yeah, well, I'm highly ranked in a few of the governing bodies, and I'm in the top 20 on BoxRec. So, and I haven't boxed for a year and a half almost. So for me, it's just about get this fight obviously I need to concentrate on this fight. I can't look past it because he is experienced and he has been in a good opposition. So he is going to cause a bit of problems, but he's in the same boat as me. He's been out for a while. Yeah, he boxed in 2020, but at the same time, it's still a long period of inactivity. So we're all in the same boat. But yeah, I want to get through this and then push on to bigger things and get closer to a world title, which is my goal.
Obviously, those rankings are at 130 pounds. You've competed at lightweight as well. Which weight do you find, is more your optimum?
I don't know. It's a bit like, I think my how can I say, at lightweight, I'm a bit more comfortable at the weight and whatever else, and I can flow. But at world level, if I step up a world level, they're all big, they're all strong, and my skills is going to be it's not going to be enough to win at world level at lightweights, because they're very big, and you've seen the size of Gavin Gwynn, and although I beat him comfortably, he's a big guy. Now, if that was at world level, he's going to be able to punch. He wasn't able to punch at this level that when I boxed him. So yeah, if that was at world level and he was a world level fighter, he'd be able to punch, and they're just as big as him. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have a bit of an advantage at super feather, where my size, my physicality, physically I'm quite strong at super feather. So yeah, I think my advantage is at super feather.
And just lastly, can you give us a bit of an insight into sort of camp life? We sometimes see sort of clips of you guys running together and trying to beat each other's times and etc. How good at feeling is that in the gym, this competitive sort of edge you guys have got?
Yeah, it is good. Like, obviously you've got all the guys in the gym, and they're all good at different runs, especially like we don't all train together at once when we're in the gym and doing our boxing sessions, but our runs on a Tuesday and a Thursday, we all run together. So we're always pushing each other. Now, you got the triangle, which is a horrible run. I hate it. And the kiddie on that is Martin Woods. He's consistent, constantly at number one. But you've got Connor, who's got great times on that, and I think he holds the record on that. You've got Felix, is always consistent, constantly coming second, first, now and again. Ted's good. John Ryder's good. And then I've started to come good. That this camp, I've started picking up my time. So yeah, you've got Spiders always last. But yeah, we have a good laugh and we all push each other. Then you've got Steps, which is Ted's sort of territory, and then you've got Hill Sprints, mine, Ted's, Connor's. We're all in the same sort of bracket. We get the same times, but it's always good because we're pushing each other and we're always looking to better each other's times, and it's good competitive. It's a good competitive nature, which is good to have in a gym like ours.
Great stuff. Good luck Saturday, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Jonathan. Let's go to Ron Lewis next.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Ron.
On Saturday, Lawrence becomes the first of that class of 2016 to box for a world title. Was there, when you came out of the Olympics, was there a sort of like a sort of friendly rivalry between the team members to see, who would be the first one?
I can't remember if there was a conversation about it, but I think there was a conversation about who's going to win a British title first, or something like that. And I think he did win it first. So he's pretty much done it all first. So hats off to him. He's done everything that I've been asked of him, and he's come through everything with flying colours for me. And I've always said it that he's very his boxing skill and his brain is very underrated. Like I said in an interview last week, I remember the first time I met him, he came on to the GB and no one knew who he was. He he didn't really have any experience, and he get chose to go to a qualifier. And we were sat at breakfast, me, Fowler, Buatsi, and Okolie's telling us what he's going to do and this and that. I'm like, I was just scratching my head. I'm thinking, this guy, he don't have a clue, and he's fighting number 3 in the world. So I was thinking, he's not all there. And then he'd gone out and he'd done everything he said he was going to do, and he'd done it to the letter T. And I was thinking, oh, this guy, that was luck. The next day he said the same thing. He's like, it was either he's going to stop him or knock this guy out, and he ended up doing it. And he done it all the way to the final, and I just thought, you know what, fair play. And you cannot believe in someone like that who's got the confidence and the will to win. He's got everything. He's got everything that is that you need to be a world champion. And especially the confidence he carries is next to none. And he's I'm proud of him. He's my Olympic teammate. I've been through a lot with Okolie. We boxed on some big shows together, and I'll be, like I said in the interview, I'll be just as happy as if I won a world title if he wins on Saturday night, which I'm sure he will. Looking back to Rio, was there kind of, because obviously, most of you were a team that had been together for about 4 years or something. You'd seen what had happened in London, then you were the next lot going to Rio. Was there kind of a feeling that it was the end of an era, and you were sort of breaking up the family kind of thing? Yeah and no. Like I was there from 2010. I just missed out on London, so I was a bit inexperienced, and I was with a lot of the boys like Fowler. Me and Fowler got on the same time. You had Kez Ashfaq who got on the same time. Who else was there? There was a couple of us, but they all came, people started filtering through after 2012 and coming on. And like you said, we were all together there for 4 years, some of us longer than that. So yeah, it felt like we were breaking up a family when we all left. But at the same time, no, we still keep in contact. We still box on the same shows. A lot of us are with the same promoter. And so yeah, it's just like every time we see each other, it's like we've never been apart. So yeah, it's a bit of a bittersweet moment, because we see each other progressing and winning titles and everything else, but at the same time we're not doing it together, because sometimes I'm sat at home watching them on the TV. When we were qualifying for Olympic Games, I was sat cheering them on in the crowd and whatever else. So yeah, it's it feels like sometimes you're happy because we're all doing the same thing and we're all pushing on, but at the same time we're not doing it together. We've been split apart. But yeah, we're still a big family. We're still a big family, and I treat them like some of my best friends.
And I mean, a win over Saturday's opponent, I think he's ranked number 5 in the EBU ranking. So I mean, it should put you in line for a European title shot. Would that be something you'd be interested in? Because that in turn, if you won that, would put you in the top 5 in the world. Yeah, well, it obviously I got to speak to my management, Tony, and who is my trainer as well. So I got to sit down with him. But first and foremost, is getting the win on Saturday. Get past him, and then we can look to plan out a route for myself. But for the main goal for me, and I made it clear since I started boxing, that the main thing is to win a world title, and that's what I want to do. I want to put my name down in history, and I want to be the next flag bearer for boxing in Wales, and I want to bring big time boxing back to Wales, and I want to secure my family's future. So that's what I want to do. Obviously, you must have been little when Joe and Enzo were, and indeed Gary Reese as well for that matter, were winning world titles. Was that something that really inspired you when you were coming through? I wasn't even boxing then. I wasn't even boxing. Why you to lace your gloves up then? Yeah, no, I was playing rugby and football. I think I remember when Joe Calzaghe boxed Peter Manfredo in Millennium Stadium. Yeah. And how I wasn't boxing. I think I just started, maybe. I think I might have just started. And I was walking through the town and everyone was walking back and forth. And I was like, what's going on here? To my mates. And he was like, Joe Calzaghe's fighting.
in town. I was like, oh, should we try and get tickets? So I rang my old man. I was like, can you get us tickets? They were like, yeah, we can get you tickets. And then I just thought, you know what, I ain't gonna bother. I didn't end up going. But yeah, I wasn't serious about boxing then. So I started when I was just before my 16th birthday, or I might have been 16. But yeah, I wasn't I was a late starter. I picked it up very quickly. But yeah, when I was getting involved, Carl Zaghi is one of them. Enzo again, Gavin Rees, they're from Wales. You sort of look up to them. But the main one for me, even back when I wasn't boxing, was Sugar Ray Leonard. I remember watching a DVD my old man gave me, which was called The Fantastic Four or The Fabulous Four, and I watched it, and he was the one I got drawn to straight away out of Hagler, Hearns, and Hagler, God rest him. Obviously, a shame what's happened to him, but Hearns, Duran, and Leonard, and he was the one I got drawn to, and it was the fight with Hagler in round 9 when he had that unbelievable burst. It just went on for about 2 minutes, and I just thought, wow. And then from then, I just got drawn into him. But they're the people I look up to, obviously, because they're from Wales, and that's what I want to do for the next generation of Welsh boxing.
Excellent. Thanks, Joe. Good luck Saturday, mate.
Cheers, Ron.
Thanks, Ron. Go to Ames next, please.
Ames here for Boxing News TV. How you doing, Joe? You all right?
Hi, Ames. How are you, mate?
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. A hand injury, essentially, along with COVID, has put you out the ring for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Are you injury-free now, or is injury-free as much as you can be?
Yeah, well, the injury that I did have, obviously, is my hand. Yeah, that's all done and dusted now. So I'm back. But listen, anyone that tells you they're injury-free or niggle-free going into a fight, they're a liar. Your camps are so intense. You will always have little niggles, whether it's a bad toe or a sore shoulder or a bad back or whatever. Your camps are so intense. You always have that little thing, but you just get on with it. But as far as injuries, no, I haven't got none this camp. So yeah, I'm looking to show everything this camp, this fight.
Yeah, I mean, and with that, like, you've talked to other people here and in general about wanting a world title by the end of the year. How have you had those conversations with Eddie, with Tony, about manifesting and getting that title shot?
Yeah, well, I've been manifesting it since I was turned pro. That's what I want. That's even when they asked me for a British title, like, do I want to fight with the British? I was like, I don't want a British. I just want a world title. Obviously, but I know there's stages I got to go through. But at the same time, me and Tony have sat down the last couple of months, and we sort of spoke about it loosely about what we want to do. We haven't cemented a plan in yet. We just loosely talked about it, and yeah, I'm sort of clear, and so is Tony, where we want to be in the next 12 to 18 months, and yeah, we want to be fighting and defending a world title.
Yeah, you rank with a couple of the organizations, but do you know what the situation is with the IBF title? I believe Rakhimov and Agawa, the camps have till tomorrow to seal a deal for that title, but nothing's been said. Do you know anything about that?
No, not so much. Obviously, I just concentrate on my stuff, but obviously you got Martin Wood, who's highly ranked in the IBF. So yeah, there is talks in the gym, but I don't sort of, that's his business. But yeah, they're trying. I know they're trying to sort out, trying to get that sorted. So yeah, hopefully Martin can get his shot in the next 6 to 8 months. That'd be nice for him as well. We're in the same gym, and it'd be nice if both of us can fight for a world title this year.
Yeah, there's a nice trend towards titles of some kind within the Tony Sims gym. You got you, who wants a world title. Craig Richards is hopefully going to be fighting for one. So is John Ryder. Ted Cheeseman's got his title fight coming up soon. So the gym's kind of it's the gym's time right now, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Well, we've all got titles under our belts. You got Felix Cash. He's got a Commonwealth title. And he'll be moving on very quickly in a minute. He's a great fighter. You got Ted, great fighter. He's fighting the week after mine, the 27th. I'm sure he'll come through that. that's for the British title. Who else we got? We got Connor. He's fighting Samuel Vargas. That's going to be a tough fight, but I'm sure he'll get through that no problem. And then he'll be in a sort of a mixed fringe world title level. And yeah, and it won't be long before he gets his chance. And then you got John Ryder, like you mentioned, Martin Woods, Craig. So we're all bouncing off each other, and we're all pushing each other to do better. And we all won world titles. And I think having the boys in the gym that are so competitive and all want to learn and all want to do well, I just think it's great for our gym. And we're all pushing each other on to do big things.
I think that those guys have been giving you a real spring in your step to keep you motivated, but you must have had another one like outside the ring. I believe you're having a baby boy, aren't you, Joe?
Yeah. Well, I got two girls at the minute, but it was always it's never been. I never shied away from telling everyone I want a boy, and I won't stop until I have one. So my missus was saying to me, if this is a girl, I ain't having no more. I said, well, I'm gonna have to wait. Sorry. But she said nah. But when she actually got a 20-week scan on the day before my fight, but she booked the scan because I said, listen, do not go to the scan the day before my fight and tell me it's a girl. I said, because you'll throw me off. So she booked a private one a couple of weeks back, and they found out what it was, and it was a boy, and I was so happy. And obviously, like you said, it's something that pushes me on outside of the ring, and everything I'm doing now is for them. I want to secure my family's future. I want to be able to give them everything, and everything I had and more as growing up. Because for me, I never went without anything. Anything I wanted, it was there. I'd done anything I wanted, so I want to be able to do that for my kids.
Congratulations and all the best for the weekend.
Thanks, Joe. Really appreciate your time there, mate. We'll let you get off now, and we'll see you in the bubble later this week.
Sweet. Take care.
Take care, Joe.
Bye-bye.